Yo, what is going on? Name is Drivas, and I'm gonna be breaking down the lessons that I learned at a mastermind in Mexico. It was honestly a dope experience, and I want to be able to share with you guys everything that I learned from this mastermind, this whole event. It was a 5-day trip, and I gained a lot of wisdom, a lot of knowledge, and a lot of just in-person experience as well. Just being around other entrepreneurs, business owners that were doing literally around 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, even up to 100K per month in their own businesses that they've established on their own terms, on their own principles, and their own values as well. So I want to just be able to just really absorb everything and give it all to you guys that you guys can take away from this video. So the first thing is going to be law of proximity. That is so key. The people that you surround yourself with, the people that you're exposed to, it's only going to elevate you more. Every single morning, I was doing my process. So my process involves waking up very early. It's 4 a.m. for myself. And I was sharing a room with somebody. And for him, he woke up a little bit later, which was totally fine. And I would get up and I would go out into the balcony. There was a whole balcony, had a beautiful view. We were down. We had our own private little beach. It was a very beautiful setup in a villa. Held 20 people, so we had to share rooms, and the balcony where I was able to see out of. And when I went out there, as my roommate was sleeping, I was doing these burpees on this balcony. It just led me to wanting to do more, even though I was a little bit tired. I was a little bit just stressed out from traveling. I was like, yo, I'm gonna hit this shit, because I know I'm around a whole bunch of killers now. So being around this environment, I was able to just dig deeper and not let the 3D world or the physical plane affect me in any sort of way. So I still stuck to my process, even though, yeah, he was getting up a little bit later, because that's just his schedule. That's how he operates. But also just, I knew in the back of my head, like, every single day that I'm going to be here on this 5-day trip, it's just going to be way different compared to, being around XYZ individual that doesn't give a fuck about their lives or want the best for them. Like, all these guys want the best for themselves, and then they also support you along that journey as well. So having that in my back pocket while I was out there, it just pushed me to do more. And the conversations that I had with these guys, we were talking big numbers, going from 10K to 20 to 30 to 40 to 50, and then again 100, 200, even millions per month, right? These were different conversations that I haven't been able to really expose in person. I've talked about it to them on Zoom calls or just online, just through DM. So having it in person was a whole different experience, and then I could give a lot of my value, because I had a lot of the guys asking me, how can I get more dialed in? How can I get more disciplined? Because they saw. So out of everybody that was there, I was top motherfucker that was up. I was the first one up every single day. I remember I would go down. There was a big kitchen area. We had our own private chefs. It was really dope. And there was this big kitchen where you could get whatever you want. So I would just get my protein powder, just do my process, get the water from the little jug they had in the kitchen, and lights off. Nothing. You had the overnight worker. He was helping me out because I couldn't figure out the door, especially on the first day. So I was the first one up. Everybody was still sleeping. I still did my process. And people started to see that because I was just sticking to what I was doing. It only led to them wanting to do more once they were there, and then once they got back home. So being around each other just elevated back and forth. It was a very beautiful thing. So it just worked both ways. I was feeding off of them, having these really intense and intellectual conversations. And also what I was doing, I was showing it through more of my actions. It wasn't really through my words. I was showing my process just clear as day. That's how it is. It was really cool to see that just do that naturally on its own. Just being around all these individuals, it was just different compared to the current environment that I'll just be in. I'll just be so locked in, just myself. As an entrepreneur, as a business owner, you can feel very isolated, or you can feel I'm very alone in this whole process, and I don't have a lot of people to go to. There's not a lot of people you could relate to. And I was trying to find a group for many, many years along this journey, and especially these past couple of months with what I continue to be exposed to. Because once you get exposed, you can't go unexposed. So now that I've been exposed to all these guys, it's clear as day, like, who is my tribe and who I want to be around more. It was just a really fun experience overall of how we were able to bond and be able to do a lot of things that usually I don't do with a lot of people. So being around them, it really just pushed me to that next level. And if I didn't go, I knew I would have regretted it. Now, the next thing is kind of what I was just describing, but just being around certain individuals. If you're just saying that, oh, I can do this all on my own, your ego is so fat. You need to drop it. Because for a long time, I thought I didn't need anybody. I thought I could do everything on my own. I would be able to just figure it all out. But there's people there to help you. They're there. They care. Like, they genuinely care. And a lot of people on this trip, they helped me in certain areas where I was lacking. For me, it was honestly just being around the same people. Once again, that law of exposure, law of proximity. Remind myself of the journey that I'm on. And for you too, if you constantly feel alone or you're just doing it just to make money, but you're not making connections, you're not networking, it's gonna take a toll on you. It's gonna make you feel a certain way, and it's gonna take you to a very dark place. It's taken me to very dark places if I didn't have a support group like this, a accountability even. Just knowing that there's people that are on the same journey as you, they're like-minded individuals, they want the same, they're going after the same goal, they care about you, they want you to level up with them, because that's what it was. It was about just levels to this game. And there's people that are behind me that I met there, and then there's people that are above me. Regardless, I learned a lot from all these guys. And I was able to take a lot of gems back, build upon the experiences that we built off of that trip alone. Now, as a community, like, we're even tighter. I've realized, like, just more of myself and not really giving a fuck. Like, there was one time when we had to go and introduce ourselves, and at first I was kind of like acting a little bit like a robot when I had to introduce myself. And then one dude just didn't really give a fuck, and he was like, yo, Nick, like, I can tell, like, you're not that type of individual. Like, you're not a robot. Like, you just need to just not give a fuck. And then the next day I applied it, and then boom, like, back in business. So that's what I'm saying. Like, very quickly, if you be around these individuals and you don't have an ego in you, because I could have been like, nah, you don't know what the fuck you're saying. I know what the fuck I'm doing. Like, I could have been like that too. So me just dropping my ego and listening to these guys and just being on that same wavelength, it helps a ton just to move forward along the process. Now, the last thing would be being the individual that takes charge. So it kind of goes into what I was saying before. For me, I was the first one up every single day. I was still on purpose. I wasn't going out and drinking and clubbing all the fucking time and doing all the drugs, all this shit, even as that entrepreneur, that business owner. I still had to remember that I have to take care of myself on this trip. I can't just let everything go. I can't just say, I'm gonna relax and rest like crazy. Like, there was moments where I just had a lot of gratitude for the actual moment. I journaled a lot. I really appreciated the moment. That was my main thing of being on this trip as well, to just go see life, go see what life has to offer. And I remember just being on that beach, just listening to the waves, getting up super early and seeing a beautiful sunrise, all these beautiful things that I was able to take in for myself. That's what it was really about too. So me being on purpose, I was already in alignment with seeing what God has to offer to this beautiful world that we're all on. So I was able to really tap in still, even not being in my normal environment, and still taking that charge. I was still on that purpose. I was still driven. I was still waking up my normal process, doing my whole process every single day, reading, listening to audiobook, podcast, whatever, if I did have the time, until we had to do what we had to do. We had workshops, we had seminars, we had a lot of just really good conversations and just a really good time overall. They were a little bit more, I will say, leeway with going out, going to the club. I will be honest, I did go to the club, but I stayed disciplined the whole fucking time. Everybody admired it. They were like, what the fuck? How the fuck? I thought you were drinking with us. Like, no, like I just went just to have a good time and just to let loose, if anything. But I was still on purpose. I was still in alignment. So you can have fun without doing the bullshit. That's just me personally. So being able to do this, I still stuck to what the fuck I have to do. That's it. I still do my program. I still do what is required, non-negotiable, and that's a part of being a business owner. And this is the program for myself that has saved my life, because I know if I went and did the drinking, if I did the drugs, there was no drugs involved, by the way. If the most they were doing a little bit of champagne on this trip, that's them. That's to celebrate all the stuff that they've been able to accomplish, whatever. That's them. For me personally, that's not me. That's not my way of celebrating. For me, my way of celebrating is getting deep and tapping into myself and having loads of gratitude and just having a fun time. All I did was let loose a little bit, just in my own way. I just had to really just dance. That was it. Like going to and hanging out with these guys. That's all I needed. I didn't need everything. And it's because of how much I'm in purpose mode, the amount of purpose that I have, the amount of reps that I've done. And when you do this process, when you do this program, you see that this is the answer compared to running to a vice, compared to even if you go on vacation, that you will need that drink, that you will need to do some nasty action, some low vibrational shit that will only put you back, like a drawback. It will only be a setback. It won't be able to push you forward, because I was able to take a lot from that trip and then start to apply it when I got back home. And then I had another trip that will be in another video that I'll be breaking down as well, where there will be even more lessons about all that. So the program is what saved me, and it continues to apply every single day. And it doesn't matter where I'm at in this world. I still do it across the board. It's in my fucking heart. It's in my soul. This whole program, it's my life. This is the program that I need. And this is the program that you need as well. So you don't go back to those old ways. And you can join a group of killers that are killing it in their professions as a high performer to unlock peak performance. And you can become your 10.0 self. So all you got to do is book a call in the description below. I'll show you how to do everything across the board. There's going to be a form of payment. Obviously, the shit is not free. Do not book the call if you're just going to waste my time. And if you're doing around 6, 7, 8, 9 figures, even 10 figures a year, then this is the greatest opportunity that no one else is going to show you how to do the shit. I can show you how to do it. No one else will. No trainer, no coach, no anybody. And I will show you exactly how to do that once we get you started and you bring a form of payment, bring your credit card, be ready, and go through all my content. Make sure that you're just ready to go and not wasting anybody's time. So book a call right in the description below, and I'll see you guys in the next one.